Satya Dhamma Reflection on May 30th, 2022. Use non-attachment with everything for blessing, for help through the ending. That which is not having anything to do with the disregard. Don't use it with oneself, otherwise it's gonna be uptight within oneself. Otherwise, it's not going to be a blessing. All the sentences are to be given, not to be grabbed. The attempt to conclude for oneself, there is still a grasping, still uneasy within oneself. Every sentence is to be used with everything as a blessing. That which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, to be used with everything. This will be helping through unwinding and releasing. The attempt to conclude, to enable to conclude within the mind, that is the overlaying of the grasping mind. This will create uneasiness, uptightness, and it will be a turbulence. If it's the conclusion as giving, then it will not be grasping for oneself. This will be a completion in blessing. Therefore, the mistake is a tiny bit there, which is trying to conclude for oneself. There is still a grasping mind. This is a mistake. This will not be good. Use the disregard with everything. It's not about attempting to enable to disregard. Use it for everything, not using attempt to disregard, to enable to disregard. That will create stress. Use that which is not the non-attachment towards everything. This is to be given for blessing. The blessing is to be given to bless further. It's not about grasping. Purify the grasping mind that overlay. We're with it. The mind that is used in a good way or bad way will turn out as such like the dog that is having white and black color in the body, or using the mind to put the blame on someone as good and bad as such. The eyes will be in such a way. The karma effect will turn out in the forms as appear on the body and the mind. When you use good mind or bad mind, good mind can turn into a dog, can be fated as a dog because of the concern. go beyond that disregard from the disregard itself.
ไม่หูดำฟังแต่เรื่องดีๆเอาฟังแต่แนวที่
Why the dog has black ears? Because they have listened to all the gossips. That's why they are fated in the form with black ears. And if they like to bark, also they like to rebuke. This is the appearance which can come from, are fated from karma, karmic retributions. In conclusion, just disregard to disregard altogether, and give no significance to the disregard altogether as well. Don't use opinions and meanings with anything. Everything is disregard to disregard. Well with it, then it will not create karma towards one another. It will not create karma towards the nature, towards samsara and all things. Disregard to disregard altogether well. Don't be obsessed to use opinions and meanings, feelings and emotions with anything. Don't use the mind with anything. Be engrossed with knowing. Don't do that. Don't use projecting mind through seeing and knowing. Uninvolved with the disregard all the same with everything. These will not create karma towards samsara, not create karma with anything whatsoever. Disregard all the same, uninvolved with the disregard all the same with everything. Don't be obsessed to use the mind with anything, whether it's good mind or bad mind. They are all creating karma. Don't use the mind in whatever ways with anything, whether it's good mind or bad mind. It's all about karma. It will bounce back to oneself. Even having the good mind, you can even be fated as a dog. Why is it so? Because there is something that is not good within that such a goodness. Concerning and possessiveness is already turned into karmic retributions to be fated as the dog. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, all the same with everything. Uninvolved with disregard or not, all the same with everything. Helping through the extinction, extinction as helping, unwinding as helping, helping through unwinding. Don't use the mind, projecting mind, with anything. Don't use feelings or emotions with anything. That's an aggravation. That's not helpful. It's a whirlpool which is gonna be denser and denser. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, all the same. This is to be given, to use for blessing, not for the sake of oneself, not for the sake of one's own mind. That's going to create stress immediately. Attempting to enable to disregard, to brighten out, that is the stress, that is the grasping mind that overlays. The awakening and the brightening is to be given. Ending as helping, helping through ending. Don't be obsessed to use the mind, to give the mind in this way and that way. Give that which is gift ending. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself. Helping through unwinding, unwinding as helping altogether. Whatever that has been given is impossible to grasp. Whenever one grasps for oneself, it will be wrong. It will be suffering right away. Therefore, that which is given, just give it furthermore. Disregard from the disregard itself is to be given. Extinction as given. Helping through the extinction altogether. That which is uninvolved with the disregard, proceed on altogether as such. This samsara is not to be grabbed. Anatta doesn't grasp itself. The anicca doesn't grasp itself as it is. It's not about grasping. The suffering doesn't grasp itself as it is. The suffering discards itself as it is. The suffering is anicca and anatta within itself, shifting, changing at all times within itself, always bygone to itself, shifting and changing at all times within itself. Therefore, practicing is only to be compromised as the way for blessing beings. This is not about persevere to practice for attainment towards that which is not about grasping. That is the blockage. Absolute, give no significance to the disregard. Simultaneously with all and everything, this will be the mighty force or the anupap to help unwind altogether. Don't use the mind. Don't give mental karma towards all things. Whether it's good karma or bad karma, it's still karma. Use that which has nothing to do with the mind or the disregard. whether it is ordinary mind or not. The disregard is not itself. Proceed on altogether so that it will be the purification of the extinction altogether. Don't give the mind in this way or that way towards one another. That is emotional karma, still giving karma towards one another. That's why there are just karmic heredity.